I'd like to call to order the Common Council meeting for December 16th, 2025 at 6:35 p.m. Attendance roll call.
Alderpersons Wolf,
Here.
Hamel,
Here.
Decker,
Here.
Bryce,
Here.
Schrader,
Here.
Dilge,
Here.
Madden.
Here.
We have a quorum present.
Thank you. Statement of public notice.
Oh my God. This meeting was noticed in accordance with the open meeting law on Friday, December 12th, 2025.
Thank you. Public comment, did we get any of those?
They just,
We got two? All right. We'll take these, but just for the future, our policy is they have to be in before we start the meeting. So just try to get them in here before. Kathy Cheverati.
Should we state that before, when we start the meeting so people understand in the audience?
It's stated in the agenda.
Is it read out loud? Do they understand it?
Well, we haven't read out loud because we could read it out
I
loud.
know, but I'm just saying, I try to err on the side of the people because
Sure. No, I
they're
don't-
not educated on coming up to the council all the time.
Except it's her policy.
What's that?
She started the policy, so she should know it.
Well, I
That's
just,
fine. We're letting him go.
I'm not picking sides on anything here.
That's fine. Kathy Cheverati.
There we go. Thank you. Kathy Cheverati, West 129, South 8837, Boxhorn Reserve Drive, in Muskego, of course. I wrote three things, so I guess, do you want me to do all three at once?
Wait a second.
Or do you want me to do one at a time?
Your item number one.
I don't care what order I do them either.
No, I'm just looking at, there is no item. Your item.
No, I wrote 1, 2, 3 items, and then I got the resolution numbers next to them.
I'm getting that, but your consent, resolution 80 was last meeting. There's nothing on the agenda for that.
Yes, consent agenda, resolution 80 under the minutes. I'm sorry, I didn't put minutes of the last meeting, December 2nd.
The minutes are specific.
Yes, they're on the agenda. City Attorney, they're on the agenda. I can discuss them.
The minutes.
They're on the agenda.
The minutes were explicitly, and it's your policy, you started this, are excluded from this.
That is not true. I don't have,
It is
never
true.
had, excuse me, I would like to speak on that, City Attorney. It's on the
Why
agenda.
are you asking me?
It's on the agenda. I'm going to speak to it.
Right now,
I'm going to speak to it.
right now,
Okay.
it's not his.
Consent agenda, resolution
not
80,
his-
lake access sale. No resolution.
Turn it off.
The agenda. There was no resolution attached to the agenda, people, and there was no resolution in those minutes until today. And that's been downloaded and saved. So that was not transparent.
Point of order, point of order.
Okay. That's not transparent. And
No, I'm not.
I'm just gonna
Kathy,
say that.
Kathy, you're playing your games all the time. Will you just stop?
Resolution
It's your policy.
Next one.
Go on.
No, it isn't. Turn my microphone on. Thank you. Resolution 77, the Hillendale Water Main budget error, again, as I now understand it, a 2/3 vote was required to end the discussion of the item at the last meeting, hence why it is back here again. Again, I'm just going to say what I was trying to say earlier, inept or deliberate. I don't know. And words matter. The council had talked about at the last meeting. The council was deliberately dodged to vote on this very important budget error and the funding as a legislative body can only do. Don't forget this involved multiple errors. Test Corners Bridge was dropped from the budget, a 2.7 million budget error. It was dropped out, but it did lead to, I want to be clear, a $1.1 million shortfall because there were grant funds also not included in the budget. And then recognizing versus authorizing, I know that was discussed at the last meeting, and understand that words do matter. As was said, that you will be relinquishing the legislative body's statutory authority if you vote for it as written with it saying recognize. And as I said last time, you do not have dirty hands, but I truly believe you will if you vote yes to this resolution as written. And I have not heard anything compelling that the grant funds would be clawed back, as the term is in the thing. I heard simply that there's a small possibility of 5 to 10%. Of course, there's never 100% of anything, except for what's 100% is when the legislative body actually does the authority that it's supposed to do. I would also like to add that there's a pattern that exists. I'm not the only one who sees it. People are paying attention. There are glaring errors. There's an improper notice regarding to the lake access that I just said. There was no dollar amount public property. I even question if that could even be legal in a closed session because it's public-owned land. Budget error of the 2.7 million with a shortfall of 1.1. And then no lien filed for a delinquent water access water assessment fees. That's another error. And that led to the taxpayers having to waive some interest. That's unfortunate. And again, I just say, is that inept or is that deliberate? Thank you.
Thank you. Barb Schrader.
Boy, I was nervous. Now I'm scared.
No one's going to yell at you. We'll be fine.
Okay, I'm Barbara Schrader. I live at West 200 South 6895 Adrian Drive. I'd like to acknowledge that my daughter Deb Schrader is an alderman here. I'd also like to acknowledge that I've known Rick for 20 years. I've had a lot of respect for him. I voted for him. And I'm just sort of worrying about what's going on in my city. From watching the discussions these past few months, it seems that there was a major budget error. For some reason, the mayor decided not to inform the council. Now, I really still haven't heard a good rationale for this decision. It would seem that if he had notified you guys in the spring of 24 during the budget, we would not be here. I've also gotten the impression that the mayor then used funds from various accounts to pay the contractors, again, without your permission. It's really unfortunate that the transparency has come now after the fact and not during the process. To be honest, if I were on your council, I would not be happy with what's going on. This year, our city attorney also gave us at the library board an update on Robert's rules. Yet during the council meetings, he often does not apply these rules. At various times, he has allowed the mayor to run roughshod over the rules and does not correct him. So I'm wondering, does the attorney work for Rick or does the attorney work for the council? And another thing that's bothered me is now he has brought forth this thing that he wants you guys to affirm on decisions that you did not really make. It doesn't seem right. I don't think it's a good look for the city, really. I mean, if you did not approve things, don't give the impression that you did. So it just seems that every time this project's brought up, I have more questions. The council seems to vote for a consultant on everything. Maybe we should vote to have a forensic accountant come in and audit what's gone on here if nobody seems to agree, because I think the citizens want to know. So anyway, I'd like to see you guys work together. I hate to see the bickering, and I think we should all be, working towards the good of our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Barb. Communications from the mayor's office. We'll start with the introduction of the 2035 comprehensive plan to the common council. Adam.
Thank you, Mayor. So all council members and Mayor and Jeff, you'll see in front of you tonight a copy of the first draft of the comprehensive plan that we've been working on for a while here. It was literally just wrapped up and we wanted the council to get it first. So that's why it's in front of you tonight. That's why it was not put in the packets. I want to be really transparent and clear about that. That was a conscious decision on my part to make sure that the elected officials were seeing it first. Assuming there's no issues from the council, my plan, and I already kind of have it started to be edited, is to tomorrow at some point have this on the website, because it's the public's plan, obviously, along with the elected officials. So the digital version of it will be available in our office on our counter if someone wants to come peruse it, as the paper copy as well as the digital on the website. So there's a whole section of the website dedicated to the 2035 comprehensive plan update process. Also, as part of the public participation plan, which was one of the steps we did at the beginning of this plan, it kind of lists different places. We published this, I believe, off the top of my head, it talks about we'll have a copy available at the library, a copy here, and basically whatever that public participation plan that we approved as a group will be followed as far as implementation goes. Kind of the goal with this was an update to our 2020 plan. The 2020 plan on its own, we really feel had a lot of good merits. And when, as a group, we looked at this plan, we decided to do what I would call an update. When we went from our 2010 plan to 2020, it was a complete overhaul because just there was a lot of changes in markets and flavor of things, and just, time changes things. So this was looked at more of an update. When we did this plan, we worked with Grafe, our consultants, who help us with some of the planning, bigger planning tasks. So this was kind of a combination between them and us and different data sources. You're going to notice a couple of our goals were to make these things a little more user-friendly. Documents that are usually this big aren't something you want to go sit down and read just for fun typically. So we want to try to make it a little more palatable. So you're going to notice, if you compare this to like our previous plans, a lot more graphics, charts, tables, maps, photos, things that just make it a little more enjoyable, for lack of a better term, while still providing all of the requirements that we need to have in here statutorily, as well as anything that helps guide the future city development. In this plan, you're going to notice that there's a variety of maps in here. I think it's almost 20 some different maps that show a variety of different topics. There are a few maps that at the staff level, we want to fine tune a little bit. The data isn't going to change. We just want them cosmetically to look really nice, right? This is a nice, beautiful document. As you page through it, you're going to see that. We want to make sure that those maps reflect that. So you might see some minor changes to maps. It's strictly going to be image changes, nothing relating to data or content. The data and content that's in here is going to stay this way, unless there's obviously direction from the council or other boards or committees to change that. So this is really the first chance for the council and ultimately the public as of tomorrow to take a look at it. Early into the next, into the new year, we will lay out then kind of the approval process, which will involve probably some type of public information meeting. It will involve a public hearing process. State statutes dictate how we have to approve these plans, and our public participation plan mirrors that. So we're going to be following all of those required steps to basically approve this. So if over the next holiday, we'll say in the next couple of weeks until like the next council or two, if you guys have any questions, if the public has any questions, please direct them to Aaron or myself in the community development department. We're happy to answer any questions that we can, but really for now, because it is a big document, really just take a look at it. Let us know of any kind of questions, concerns, updates, suggestions, whatever you might have.
Any direct questions for Alderman Decker?
Adam, I guess I'm a little naive about a city's comprehensive plan. So is a comprehensive plan kind of like a plan for growth?
Yeah, it's sometimes referred to as a master plan. I think a lot of times older days, a lot of times people refer to it as a master plan. There are certain state statutes that require that we have this. There's certain state statutes that talk about, like when, for example, if someone were to come in to make a rezoning change, the statutes talk about that rezoning request has to be compliant with the comprehensive plan. A big portion, a lot of people think that this whole plan is really just a map. There is a future land use map in here. 99% of users probably only look at that land use map, but there's a lot more to this than just that land use map. But there are a lot of statutory requirements, like a zoning change has to be compliant with that map in this document. Now, this document can be changed. Someone can request a change to both, but that's one example.
So it sounds like it's kind of like a roadmap for how we want the city to grow.
Yeah, and this is something, like I said, this isn't new. It's very, very similar to the previous / current plan. It's just an update. A lot of this plan, and these are statutory requirements, is data. Statistics, data, populations, growth. You're going to notice a ton of just data. Typically historically till now, that's what a lot of this is. And then that can help ultimately the council or plan commission or whomever help make future decisions based upon things in this plan. But it's a very important planning tool that all communities utilize.
So, and I want to stress that this is a guide for the community and more so like developers that come in. And it is just that, it's a guide. It's not written in stone. It's not zoning. It's a guide for helping you with your zoning. It doesn't mean it has to be that way, but we try to stick to it as much as possible. But it doesn't mean that just because the comp plan says this was our idea here, that it can't be shifted. And we've done that many times where we shifted. And usually they're not drastic shifts, they're slight shifts. Because our first comprehensive plan, I believe, was in 2010. I believe was the first one. That one probably was the biggest undertaking of the community because we're starting from scratch on that one. 2020, the 2020 plan was an update of that, and this 2035 will be just an update of that. The other thing to note in here, Adam noted that the biggest part in here that's used by 90% of people to look at is the map. However, developers, when they're coming and look at it, do look at the statistics quite a bit, and that's one of the most important updates that we'll have in here is a lot of the demographics and statistical things that developers and companies and certain people look at before they decide if they're going to invest in our community.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well said.
All right, like Adam said, this is we wanted to make sure you guys saw it first before it went to anyone else. This will be put on the website tomorrow morning for the public. And so they'll have access to it immediately. We just, out of respect, we wanted to make sure you guys got it first, so. All right, thank you. Continuing on with the communications from the mayor's office. I'm gonna clarify something. Our city attorney is not here to correct any of us. Our city attorney is at these meetings to answer questions, and if you ask him a question, he will answer it. He is not your boss. He's not my boss. He is not the go-all authority. He gives advice. We can take it. We don't have to take it, but he's asked questions on it. So I just wanted to clarify that. There is...
Question?
No, it's a report. It's not taking questions. The agenda items regarding the lake issue, that is in the packet now. Alderman Decker brought that up to my attention yesterday. I believe that I thought it was already in the minutes. It wasn't. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. As soon as you told me, we did add it to the minutes on there. It should have been in the minutes, and it was just something that we added later. So thank you for that. It's a report. I can't take things unless it's agendized. And I'm just reporting. Tax bills are out. People are starting to pay them already. You may be getting a number of questions on this from people. I do have a letter that's probably helpful for some of you of explaining why some people's taxes went up, some went down, what the different categories are. If you have any questions on that and you have further questions, I would be happy to sit down and either refer the person who has questions to me, or I can give you the answers or what my belief is on it, and you can relay that to your constituent. I know Alderman Decker and I had a constituent asking lots of questions back and forth, so he was able to get a lot of that. Hillendale is back on the agenda right now. We called the question. I bet all of you that have been here a long time can count on half a hand how many times the question is called. I should have caught that it was 3/4. I missed that. We're trying to correct that tonight. So 2/3, I'm sorry, 2/3. So we're trying to correct that tonight. We're going to have more discussion on it. If the discussion decides to change anyone that was in the majority, they can reconsider it and can be brought back out. So that's the best option I have for fixing that. I apologize for not catching that last week, but that's why it's on here. Anything else to report? Not anymore at this point. So that's all I got for Mayor's report. Consent agenda. Common Council minutes for December 2nd, 2025. Approval of the vouchers. Resolution 084, 2025. Disallowance of claim for, I'm going to screw this last name up, Dutkwitz. Resolution 085, 2025. Disallowance of claim for Rolinski. Resolution 086, 2025, appointment of election officials by the mayor for the city of Muskego. Resolution 087, 2025, authorization to enter into a contract for Cunningham and Butler to provide benefit consulting services. Resolution 089-2025, acceptance of proposals for auditing service. Resolution 090-2025, approval of fire protection agreement with Test Corners Fire Department, which I'm going to tell you now that one has to be pulled separately because it needs an amendment. So need a motion for that. Alderman Decker.
May we please pull the 086? May we please pull 086-2025?
Yep.
Regarding the election officials?
All right.
Also 087-2025,
Okay.
and 089-2025. And I guess we've already pulled 090.
Yes.
Okay, please, thank you.
All right. So for the remaining consent agenda items, can I get a motion and a second?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Dilge was second, Schrader was motion. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Resolution 086-2025, appointment of election officials by the mayor of the city of Muskego. Someone going to make a motion on that?
A motion.
I have a question.
Well, you get the question after it gets on the floor.
Okay.
We have a motion?
Second.
Alderman Decker.
I noted that the special voting deputies was all one party, and I was wondering why there wasn't Democratic representation in
They
the
didn't
group.
submit any. I believe that's correct.
They
They didn't submit any?
didn't submit any.
So we basically take what they submit?
We have to take what they
Okay.
submit.
State law.
Okay,
State law. Yeah, these aren't people
okay,
this list is given to me.
okay.
Any other questions?
Just wanted to
Does
understand the
anyone else have any
process.
questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes. Resolution 087-2025, authorization to enter into a contract with Cottingham Butler to provide benefit consulting services.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
I noticed that well, for one thing, I could have sworn that we had decided not to have a consultant for 2026. And then when I looked a little bit,
Can I ask you a question? Why would you have sworn that? Do we have any discussion on that for this budget?
I looked past committee of the whole minutes, but I couldn't find anything. But I didn't have a chance to look thoroughly through the common council minutes. I noticed also, and this kind of bothered me, that the account used for the benefit consultant in past years ended in 5207.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's ending in a different number. It's benefit consulting fees on the next page. So I was wondering why that inconsistency from the past. What happened?
So when the budget was being created by the department heads, this is an item that is used by not all employees are impacted by this consultant, kind of like workers' comp and everything else. So we put it in the same category as the items that are used by all payroll.
Does that mean that it should have been that way in the past but wasn't?
Possibly. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's just a account number. That's it. Doesn't change anything.
Okay. It just kind of struck me as kind of,
I had nothing to do with it. I really can't answer.
okay.
Any further. And if you want, I mean, you
I
talk to our finance director about it, and I'm sure I think this is more of an offline question. It's
Okay.
really getting into the weeds. Alderman Schrader?
I was under the impression last time when this got approved that this was kind of a one-time thing because we were having the impending skyrocketing insurance question, and then there were all these options that we needed to potentially look at because rates were going to go up like 18% or something that you had told us. And so we had this consultant, and I didn't see anywhere in the budget that we're doing this going forward, having a budget consultant. And quite frankly, I questioned this in the past. I mean, I don't understand why Kate can't make these calls as the HR director and shop around. I mean, that would, I would think, fall under the HR job description. Why we have to hire consultants to do everything when we have these people that are getting nicely paid to do jobs. And I mean, in the past, that was done by the mayor and the finance director, shopping insurance. It's some phone calls. As a mom, I shop insurance, I make calls, I find out what the best policies are. You know, you have a meeting, you talk to people. I mean, I understand it's for a city, but that is typically what the HR person does. I just don't see paying $30,000, $40,000 for all these consultants all the time to do things. And again, I don't remember seeing this in the budget, so.
All right, so Kate will dive into this a little more, but first, Alderman Bryce.
I will say I was never under the impression that this was a one-shot thing. I mean, I guess they started using this person in '22. Tom and I didn't come on until recently, so they'd been using this person. I was under the impression that we would always use this person going forward. Kate is a one-woman show for HR, so I wouldn't expect her to do all this on top of all of her regular other duties, since she is a lady of one with a city staff of over 100 people. And sometimes we have to spend I believe we have to spend smart money in order to save money in the distance, right? Like, don't be penny wise and dollar foolish. Isn't that the saying? Or pound, something with a pound. But I know Cottingham Butler, they've saved us already like a total of $280,000 since 2022 with shopping around and getting new prices for us. So if we only pay this lady like $25,000, $27,000 a year, we are still have saved more money in the long run. Like, once again, this is the penny, we're being dollar wise in investing. Because if we get another HR person, say, you know, if you want to get another HR person to help Kate, it's going to cost more than $27,000. So that's just my opinion, my thoughts.
Anyone else that haven't spoken on this yet? All right, so first of all, yes, the mayor and finance director has done this, had done this in the past, and not very well. Our cost of insurance compared to our peers in the market was drastically higher. We made some adjustments this year to get us more in line with where our peers are and saved a dramatic amount of money. On top of that, I believe it's the long-term goal of this council to try to find a continuing way of reducing our costs for insurance, one of which may be someday self-insurance. That is not something that we will do on our own. It is not something that any HR director does within municipalities of our size going forward. Almost every community our size, as smaller and larger, utilizes the services of a healthcare consultant. And I think this year those services were shown on the family health plan, the adjustments we had, a number of things. But before you guys go, I'm sure Kate has a number of things that can talk about what Cottingham and Butler has brought to the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cottingham and Butler, just in general, I think we're talking about just the benefits of having a benefits broker consultant relationship work for the city. I mean, we have, we have to mitigate risk. We have to manage a $2.5+ million budget for just benefits in and of itself, support 120 plus full-time employees, and so on and so forth. So compliance is a huge part of what they help us with as well, which reduces our risk and potential litigation penalties if we make mistakes. They advise us. They have saved us money in our renewal process. So we would have paid X, but paid this much less. So in that sense, you can think of that as savings that they have paid for themselves. they support me. Like I mentioned, I'm HR department of one. This is very also specialized expertise. The benefits community and the industry is very specialized. They gather analytics and data, which they use then to negotiate with actual data with the carriers. So we may not have the same analytics and the same data available to us that they have in their proprietary systems and their benchmarking information that they gather each year. They use that to negotiate, and they do a better job of negotiating because they have that team and support behind them. So I think overall, they provide a lot of benefit to the city. They provide a lot of benefit to me. They also introduced us to the Family Advantage Health Plan, which is something that a number of our employees took advantage of this year. So hopefully we'll see some additional savings from that. So overall, I've always worked with benefits brokers. I've been an HR director in a couple different cities. I've never not worked with one, regardless of size, scope. I just think it's a best practice in the industry.
Thank you. Alderman Schrader.
Don't these insurance companies have like a representative at each one of them that you can talk to and get all the information from? Doesn't each insurance company have their own little person that's taking care of giving you all that information that you could actually
Yes.
get
Yes, they do.
from those
Yes,
people? And
Yes, they do. But it'd
okay.
be like asking you what real estate company to use.
you just make calls and you interview different real estate companies when you're trying to sell your house.
No, I'm asking you to tell me who to use. So if you're asking for advice on how to do this stuff, the insurance companies, yes, they have.
Well, they tell you what they offer.
We're not going back and forth on that. I'm just answering the question. Alderman.
I got a comment more than a question. So this is
I found this on the web.
my pet peeves when I was first selected, the cost of healthcare. And when the finance director and the former mayor came back, every time, this is what we have. They didn't get all the information. They got some, but we were always pretty much stuck with the same plan, costs increasing, never a savings. Every year, it kept on going up. So I don't think leaving it up to one person or a city employee is the best thing, because the previous finance director and mayor didn't do a good job at bringing us all the information that the consultant did. That was a whole new information. I asked about different plans, high deductible accounts, health savings plan, and what I knew of from the private sector, and we always pretty much had the same options when it came back, and there was always an increase. So I'm completely in favor with the consultant. They showed us a tremendous savings, and I think we should stick with them.
Anyone else
Question.
besides Alderman Schrader? We'll get back to you. All right, Alderman Schrader.
Wasn't there an increase last year?
Not overall.
I thought it
no.
was 8.5 or something. I think it was
The renewal came in at
9% increase.
The renewal came in at
which-
8%, and then they gave us multiple suggestions that we actually have a decrease in our costs this year.
But it was an increase.
Well, that was from,
Percentage
that
wise.
was from.
But we have a lot of
still
options
wasn't-
Wait,
now.
guys, wait.
After 4.
The increase was from the carrier. The consultant was the one that came back and tailored a plan that got us the savings. Who wants to go next? Alderman Bryce.
Sorry, I turned my button on. So, it was an increase, but it could have been a much higher increase. She negotiated down. It started at like 18%. And then she's like, can you please help? Because, they're great and they liked working with us. And so GHT was like, yes, I'll give you 12%. But then our lady was like, no, do it for me. Do it as a special to me. And so they're like, fine, we'll give you 9.5%. So it was an increase, but it still wasn't as bad as it could have been.
So you're saying they did special favors for her?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because she even came in here and sat and said, I asked and they said, all right, I'll give you what is her name? Is it Wendy?
Sandy.
The Sandy special.
Sandy. A Sandy special. That's right, Dougie. Yep, a Sandy special. So yes. Like, I mean, because that's what she does all day. She works with these companies and can point out metrics and justify why they should even give us a better deal. Like, not just give us the 18% or the 12%. Give us a Sandy special. There's value in her. And Kate. And there's value in Kate also.
Thank you.
Nobody said there wasn't.
I know, I was just pointing out.
Anyone else? Do I need to do, just do a roll call vote on this?
Yeses, we're in favor of keeping her?
Correct.
Okay.
Alderperson Wolf,
Yes.
Alderperson Hamel,
Yes.
Alderperson Decker,
No.
Alderperson Bryce,
Yes.
Alderperson Schrader,
No.
Alderperson Dilge,
Yes.
Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, 7, thank you. Resolution 089, 2025, acceptance of proposal for auditing services. Need to get this on the floor first.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Alderman Decker.
I have to agree with my colleague. I think I was troubled by some of the dealings that we've had with Baker Tilly in this past year.
Okay. Alderman Schrader.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, certainly, I don't know if the rest, I think maybe the rest of the council has seen the emails that I requested, all the correspondence with Wendy on the Hillendale. And when I would ask her questions, she would respond and say to the mayor, should I answer this question? I mean, it was like they're trying to hide things or not trying to be transparent about stuff that's going on. Like, she has to check with the mayor before she gives me answers to questions about things about the error. That didn't make any sense to me. It was very alarming, I felt.
Anyone else? Alderman Wolf.
Well, I have to say that I'd have to support my colleagues if they're not happy with a company or an individual or something that we deal with as a whole. I have to respect what they're asking for. I mean, we take this pretty seriously, I think, as a part-time job and being elected. And we don't have time to wait and monkey around and whatever. When we ask questions, we just look for results and try to analyze the results and do our best to do the vote on each subject. So I have to say, it makes it difficult for me to support a company that some aldermen feel like they're not being supported by. So that's how I feel.
Anyone else?
Yeah, could Kate come up for some more questions?
I'm sorry, what?
Could Kate come up for some more questions?
What do you mean? Well, this isn't
Jenny.
okay. Jenny, sure.
Sorry. Thanks. You had explained why you didn't, like, kind of Bauman Associates got discarded. That makes sense. A $50,000 difference is significant, but the fact that they hadn't dealt with municipalities, that makes sense. Are there any reasons besides just familiarity that you've worked with Baker Tilly for however long now that the ones that were, say, close, maybe like a $5,000 difference with Hawkins Ash, why that wasn't,
I wouldn't say a specific, not necessarily.
okay.
It's going to be a lot to take on a new auditor if that's what we're directed to do. A lot of work, a lot of extra work. I mean, I know that I started here 15 years ago and we were with Baker Tilly then. I believe they were Virchow Kraus before that. And I think we've been with them since the beginning of time. Honestly, I have no idea, but it'll be a lot.
Can you explain what that means? I mean, I go through audits at my work too, and it's usually like we're providing them information. So I'd imagine the same information you provide to, say, Baker Tilly, you could provide to any auditor.
They know all of our history with, say, rec charges or just anything. They know all of the history of the city. There's a lot of things that a new auditor will have to learn.
Alderman Schrader?
I would just like to add too that as president of the council last year, I had the opportunity to speak with Stephen May, who works for Baker Tilly. And I gave him some of my concerns on the Hillendale project. And Baker Tilly did not follow through with any of my concerns. And that is very alarming to me. And that's why we're where we're at, I think, with sitting here. Part of the reason the mayor keeping it off agendas and Baker Tilly not following through on, I mean, there was no resolution, no direction to spend that money and pay those bills. And this is wrong. And I believe Baker Tilly's involved in it as well at this point.
I would watch what you say on that. So I've been quiet on this for a reason, but I can't anymore. Alderman Schrader and her harassing of Baker Tilly and the answers they got to the point where they got their legal involved because she was asked, it was harassing. Actually, she got answers. She just didn't like the answers. The answers she got are the same answers you would get from any company out there. But it's similar to asking an attorney for a recommendation that if you don't like it and you keep on saying, well, what if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? They gave their recommendation. Baker Tilly is one of the most respected accounting firms in the country, not only the state. And it got to be an ugly point on it. So all the cautions and all the things you saw in the emails on that was based on harassment and to the point where they literally had their legal team involved in this. There is nothing different you would have seen from their audit from anyone else. I don't care who we use for our auditing. I don't get involved in it. I want a company that's reputable, and I also don't want the added soft costs of what we have of switching to a different auditor if we don't need to, because some alderman has a political axe to grind on this. Did she get the answers she wanted? No, because she wanted an answer that is not proper for doing an audit. So that is, I mean, I'm not going to go too far into this, but that is where we are at on this. So you can make the recommendation of switching to a different auditor. Like I said, I don't work with them. I get asked very little. Staff has to work with them. Staff is the one making the recommendations on this. The auditor doesn't do anything to protect me or anything. They randomly pick one alderman every year and ask them questions. Well, lucky them this year, it was Alderman Schrader who they asked, who had all these questions, and she just didn't like the answers. No. So she was harassing them, and this is the response. You will get a chance to respond. This is the response I have been given from the vendor. I'm actually shocked that when we put our RFP out there that they answered it. I didn't think they would. Alderman Schrader.
I would just like to say, if that is truly the case, I had requested all correspondence between you, the city attorney, and Baker Tilly on this matter, and there was nothing about any legal issue or any problem. It was, so if you're withholding information, then that's even more of a shock right now. But I asked for answers on Hillendale. There was a problem. We all know there's a problem. Baker Tilly knew there was a problem. They were alerted to the problem. We had a huge budget error, and they were involved in the audit. So I have a problem with it, yes.
They did give you everything you asked for.
Excuse me?
I said Baker Tilly gave you everything you asked for in regards to our budget.
But here we sit still with this Hillendale, and we're going to be talking about it, and we have a resolution in front of us that doesn't do anything. And
they have nothing to do with the resolution, though. I'm saying they gave you what you asked for in the audit.
But they also audited, and they saw that things were done without resolutions. Payments were made and things happened without the proper channels. And that's a red flag.
That's fine. That's your opinion.
No, it's the fact. It's not an opinion.
You guys don't need
what
to go
happened.
back. You guys don't need to go back and forth on it. the answer and the way they conducted the audit is the way an audit is properly supposed to be done. It doesn't go into the nuances of all this that she was trying to find and trying to get someone to come out and say that, I'm the Antichrist and all this. We made a mistake. We admitted the mistake. I've done it, ad nauseum here. We'll talk about that later on in the agenda when we go to this, but as far as the use of who you guys decide to use, I don't get involved in it, but I do have a budget that I have to manage from you guys, and the soft cost of switching to another one really wasn't taken into consideration in this, so it will cost us extra money in the end. For one of the most reputable auditing and accounting firms in the country. So, anything else? Anything new?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
As you're talking about a little soft cost, as we're spending on different kind of consultants and things right and left, I think a little bit of a soft cost and potentially Jenny having to do a little more legwork is worth it to have peace of mind that we're having a new auditor.
All right. Thank you. Roll call vote.
Alderpersons Wolf,
No.
Alderperson Hamel,
Yes.
Alderperson Decker,
No?
Alderperson Bryce.
If Jenny is requesting Baker Tilly and she's used to working with them and that's comfortable with her, and I'm gonna go with yes.
Alderperson Schrader,
No.
Alderperson Dilge,
No.
Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
It's 3 yeses, 4 noes.
All right. So do you guys want someone make a motion to pick somebody else, or we don't have one of the two? So
Well, I could make a motion to pick another one, but we don't
which
really,
one? We picked one, so now you guys have to.
well, I think I like the one Tom had talked about. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, Hawkins Ash. So I'll make a motion to go with Hawkins Ash.
I'll second that.
Do you second that, you said?
Yes. Any questions?
Yeah, do we want to bring them in for a review and talk to them before we do anything? Or is this pretty well cut and dry? We know what we expect and go from there?
There's really not much time to do that, honestly. They usually do a preliminary audit in December, which we are behind on already.
We're what?
We're behind on scheduling a preliminary audit at this point already.
Have you seen what their contract looks like?
I just have their proposal.
Okay. I would like to look at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking, you want to be safe and look everything over first. I don't know how we approach this.
And just a question again, besides familiarity with the company we're using, nothing in this proposal from
Nothing
Hawkins
stood out. They
Ash
looked
stood
good.
out as,
I had no concerns.
Alderman Decker.
I would also like to take a look at Bauman.
What do you mean by take a look at it?
Presentation or something?
Yeah,
That wouldn't happen until January. I don't know
Well, we have a meeting on the 23rd.
Possibly. If we have a quorum.
if they could even make it then.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
not
know.
going to come the night before Christmas.
They're not going to show up.
We're not doing that. Alderman Hamel.
And
If we're supposed to be, if they're supposed to be starting this audit in December, it's putting them probably 2 months behind.
I mean, potentially. The preliminary is just what it is. It's preliminary. They gather some data. But if we're going with a new company, I don't know how that works,
Baker Tilly
honestly.
has a lot of that data already.
Correct,
From working with us
correct.
for how many years, 20 years maybe, I don't know. And now everybody that's concerned about cost is looking to spend more money. which I find a little ironic. Granted, it's not a lot, but, you know, we have familiar with Baker Tilly, they have familiarity with us. I think all because there's personality conflicts between some of them and some of us. I really think we're making a mistake on looking for somebody new.
Alderman Decker?
Didn't we just decide the issue?
No, you
No,
haven't.
you gotta
Yeah.
pick somebody.
You decided not to, who not to use, not who to use.
I guess,
And in all transparency, we've never brought this forward. I mean, has this ever been brought forward in your whole time here?
Never.
So, you know,
It is.
we brought
The
this
new
forward so to
contract
keep you
has
guys
been
up,
signed
but, you know,
every
this will go
time.
into our conversation at the COW, but, you know, we don't get involved. Council lets staff use their consultants, you know, so I'm not gonna argue that point, it's here, but. you've got
I'll
this.
support the recommendation of my colleagues, Hawkins Ash.
Thank you.
we already had a second, didn't we?
Yeah, we already have that, so, you know, we're just wondering, so
We
what's the
need to
cost
get in
difference
front
on
of
that?
Jeff, I think, is where we're
What's the
at.
cost difference for them?
Of Hawkins Ash?
Yeah.
I believe they were maybe
They're in a-
3,000 higher than
Okay, so they're in
Baker
the
Tilly.
ballpark, all right. Thank you.
So
All right, any other discussion?
I think where we're at is we need to get it in front of Jeff to
So
review the stuff.
are we good to go with, we just have Jeff go through the contract?
I think that's where we're at, according to
Yeah.
the council.
All right. Okay. We have a motion, a second, roll call vote.
Alderperson Wolf,
Yes,
Alderperson Hamel,
Yes.
Alderperson Decker,
Yes.
Alderperson Bryce,
Yes.
Alderperson Schrader,
Yes.
Alderperson Dilge,
Yes.
Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 090-2025, approval of a fire protection agreement with Test Corners Volunteer Fire Department.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion. There was finance. Did you write those
motion
down, or
to
do I just-
amend.
To the ones
Yeah.
that you amended, yeah.
All right.
So what's up here is amended, it's amended?
There was a recommendation at finance that was brought forward as part of their recommendation to change the contract to ask for all the donations that they have, the total of the donations that they have received in the last 5 years. Itemize any of those donations that are 5,000 or larger, provide their financial statements, and balance sheet. Does that sound right?
And did you change the 50,000 from 500,000?
Oh, yeah, and change the capital cost of anything over 50,000 to come to council.
I'll second that.
Actually, no one's made it yet.
Oh.
So Alderman Wolf, are you
Oh, I
making that
thought that
motion
you
since it
made
was
it.
yours?
I thought it was on the floor.
No, you
Okay, I make the motion.
To amend, to do that. You seconding
I'm
that?
seconding that.
All right, any discussion on the motion to amend? All those in favor of the motion to amend, say aye.
Aye.
Any further discussion on the motion as amended? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, old business. Further discussion on Resolution 077-2025, approval of resolution authorizing the funding of Hillendale Water Main Project. This is already technically on the floor. It's just discussion at this point. So, because discussion was inadvertently cut off last time, we're going to continue discussion on it. If for some reason discussion sways somebody that voted in the affirmative, there's another agenda item to allow them to reconsider it. Who wants to go first? Alderman Schrader.
So, when we were talking last time, I mentioned Rick's memo that was part of the agenda. And I wanted to go through the memo and why the memo fails. The core claim of the agenda, and I'm going to give this to Carrie. I would like this added to the minutes or the agenda for today, and I'll give, there's a copy here for Carrie. The mayor claims the Hillendale water main project was properly discussed, properly approved, properly funded, merely a documentation error, and that claim does not survive the record. The undisputed numbers, and these are figures, not opinion. The original capital budget authorization was 1 million. ARPA funds approved 1 million. Actual project cost 3.75. Unapproved shortfall 1.34 million. And the net budget error was 2.734 million over the adopted capital budget. Those numbers appear in the memo itself. That the budget actually what the budget actually contained. This is a critical point. The 2024 adopted budget listed $0 for Hillendale construction. Only 1 million in ARPA appeared. No water utility funding was authorized in the capital budget. No resolution identified alternative funding sources before the bid. The project cannot be under budget when it is not budgeted. And that's a claim that it was under budget by Mayor Rick, but it was never budgeted. The legal failure. Wisconsin law is clear. Wisconsin State Statute 19.83 requires action to occur in an open session. Closed sessions cannot authorize spending. Any action taken must return to an open session for a vote. And it actually says that on our agenda minutes, right at the bottom, when you go into a closed session, it says anything decided on in closed session has to be voted on in open session. It's on all of our agendas. No such vote occurred authorizing 3.75 million. Mayor Rick's Facebook post is not a legal authorization. A memo is not a legal authorization. An intent is not a legal authorization. What actually happened? The timeline really matters. The bid went out without full funding authorized. The contract was awarded without council approval of total cost. The mayor learned of the shortfall in April of 2024. And funds were redirected administratively. The council was not informed in time to act. The agenda requests were blocked for over 18 months. I personally requested it. I know Alderman Wolf also requested it, and Alderman Decker. Over the 18 months, this is not a political witch hunt. This has been something we've been trying to get on the agenda for over a year. It only has come to the agenda through a public open records request. So this is not transparency, this is concealment. The separation of powers is a violation. This is not a procedural nitpicking. The council controls appropriations. The mayor executes what's approved. Redirecting funds without approval bypasses the legislative body. That violates city policy and state law, and that is exactly what the attorney is sitting here. He's supposed to help guide us follow those things, along with Robert's rules. Calling it a shared oversight does not change the structure of government. The mayor's own admission, the memo concedes that funding source was not clearly identified. The documentation was incomplete. The council did not formally approve the final funding structure. Those admissions defeat the defense. And why the new resolution does not cure the violation? It's a retroactive resolution. It does not legalize prior unauthorized spending. It does not erase the lack of public notice. It does not fix the closed session problem. And it does not restore council authority after the fact. It's cosmetic. The bottom line is this was not a typo. It's not a misunderstanding, and it was not a paperwork delay. It was a 2.734 budget failure, unauthorized spending, withheld information, blocked oversight, and a post hoc attempt to sanitize the record, and the facts are already in the documents. No rhetoric can change them.
Anyone else? Alderman Decker.
I would like to point out that the resolution that we're about to vote on, wording is important. From the, I found online from the Organization and Powers of Cities and Villages, this was put out by the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, 2023 Local Government 101. It talks about powers of the council versus the village presidents and mayors. it says, all powers granted to cities and villages are vested in their governing bodies. That means the Common Council. Mayors and village presidents similarly have no independent power to expend funds, make purchases, or enter into contracts on behalf of the municipality without obtaining prior approval from the governing body. That clearly was not done in this case. What we are being offered instead is a resolution that, quote, where the Common Council would recognize what was already done by the mayor. Wording is important. The word authorize is key, and that's what is needed. And that's why I proposed an alternative amendment that we could maybe discuss after we decide on the proposal by the city attorney. But I would strongly encourage everyone here to think about your responsibilities as a member of the Common Council and to stand up for your prerogatives and your right to exercise this authority. You have the right to authorize. You're not a rubber stamp. And this is a vote it's going to be very key. It's going to determine who understands what this is really all about. Whether we're going to exercise our authority or just rubber stamp something that the mayor already did.
Anyone else? Alderman Bryce.
I just have a couple questions. So I guess when I was listening to Deb, it said that a project was approved without having any of the proper funding. So my question is then, so 7 alder people sat up here and said, yes, I want to do the Hillendale water project, and I don't care where the money comes from. I, as a smart person, and everyone else up here is a smart person, would think before anyone says yes, let's do this big project, they would be like, where's all the money coming from? I don't think anyone just sat up here and said, 1 million from ARPA, yeah, have at it. I think there's probably other understandings of where the money was going to come from. And authorize versus recognize, I feel like once again, when we do the voucher system, everyone, I literally look at the vouchers, in the thing, there's screws to True Value for $18.42. Door stoppers from wherever for 38. I go through and I read all of them. I read all the things. And I would think, once again, I'm just thinking because I wasn't on the council, I would think that as someone is reading through the vouchers, they would be like, oh, this construction company needed whatever amount of money for this amount of asphalt for Hillendale. They would see that and then approves the vouchers going, yes, we approve the vouchers, pay this company for their asphalt for the Hillendale project. So it all got approved once already and those people got paid. So we would be recognizing that that was approved and they're paid. You can't authorize them to pay it originally. It gets paid and now you're going to authorize it again. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's what I got.
Anyone else? Alderman Hamel.
I'm listening to Alderman Schrader and Alderman Decker. I'm sorry. I'm listening to Alderman Schrader and Alderman Decker, and I hear them stating what they're stating, but yet I'm not hearing a remedy other than a few words here and a few words there. So I'm not sure what they want to do about it other than trying to go back and fix something that was done incorrectly. And I'm not even sure if that's what they're stating because I'm not hearing a solution from them on what should be done, I guess, other than Alderman Decker's resolution. And I gotta put is Rick and the former mayor said, trust the staff, trust the attorney. That's what they're here for. They're the experts. I got to go with what they say and how they propose it. I do know that when Scott discussed this in front of everybody, it was always an estimated $4 million project. How that got messed up and came through budget incorrectly, nobody caught it. And there was a whole lot of people that, it wasn't just one person or seven, it was a whole bunch of people that it got by. So, you know, I gotta go with what, you know, the attorney is saying here. To me, it's a complete history. I can't go with something that was drawn up, you know, from anybody that wasn't here for the full history of this. And Alderman Bryce was correct. Everything came through vouchers as well for the project. So everything, you know, every penny was accounted for and approved or authorized through the voucher system as well.
Anyone new? Alderman Schrader.
Is there not a difference between a voucher and a resolution?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking everyone. I'm asking the mayor.
Oh, absolutely. Sure. Yes.
Okay, so when you have a big project like this, doesn't it need a resolution to authorize the funding?
Yes.
And did that happen?
Yes.
When did that happen?
May 9th was at least 2.6 million of it was approved. And let me check. Wait. May 9th. Common Council passed Resolution 036-2023 appropriating roughly $2.6 million in ARPA funding towards the Hillendale Water Main Project. If any funds remain, those would be used to fund the Test Corners Bridge Project. Motion made by Alderman Kamaki, seconded by Alderman Schrader. That passed unanimously. So that was the authorization of using the full ARPA funds towards it. Also, as we, just answering your question, and I will get more into this later, but the second authorization was on March 12th, 2024, the Common Council voted to approve a bid for the Hillendale project construction portion of the project for $2.883130.72 for Wilhelm Excavating. Wolf moved, Hamel second, vote 7-0. So there was two authorizations there. Was the budget part in there correct? No, I would agree with you on that, but there were resolutions approving this. Any other questions?
And wasn't that part of the problem, was that during the budget, the whole dollar amount was not accounted for?
The part of the biggest problem was it was the budget submission was changed from what was submitted. I didn't catch it. Staff didn't catch it. None of you caught it. It is my responsibility. I have said this a number of times. I should have caught this. We all went through the budget process. None of us noticed it. We approved a bid. I didn't notice it. You didn't notice it. You are the checks and balance on this. I'm not saying it's 100% your fault or even any percentage of your fault. Had I caught this, this doesn't happen. I didn't catch it. There was nothing malicious on this whole thing. We talked about this all along. It was a $4 million project, as Alderman Hamel had said. So there were multiple approvals on this. The checks and balance, the front line of defense on this is myself. I failed you. I failed the community on this. I regret it. I should have brought it forward immediately when I found it. I was trying to find a solution. I did not have a solution. I had other issues without getting too far into things that were discussed in closed session on it. I was dealing with other things on it. Looking back, I would handle it differently. I admit that. The checks and balance, the part I failed on is you guys. Alderman Wolf.
Actually, I did bring it up at budget time. I think that's why where we're at now, it's definitely dragged way out.
Well, the following year budget, just to be clear, it wasn't that budget that year.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to make that point that my checks and balances hopefully were somewhere in, you know, again, I gave that speech if you go back and look a couple meetings ago about, I can only vote on what's given in front of me by staff and so on. I'm not going to get into all that again. I'm just saying that I work with what I got and I vote on what I have in front of me. the question I have here, I see where we're at, what's been done. We have another resolution, we have another resolution on our iPads. It looks like we're gonna go down a long road with this, the way it sounds today. What do we need to do to make this resolution happen? I mean, that's,
Well,
that's the question, because where I'm at right now is it's just getting deeper and deeper and more confusing, and this stuff gets put in front of you in the last minute. And, you know, we only get 96 hours from when it's put on the agenda on Friday till we come to Tuesday's meeting, and sometimes stuff we can't even open. It's given to us at the meeting, or we talk about it at the meeting. So this makes it very difficult now to feel comfortable that I'm doing the right thing 100%. I mean, I trust Jeff because he's our attorney. He should draft these up right, but we have counter ways of doing it. So how can we all get together and simplify, well, I'm having a problem today, making this easy to get a resolution together? And, you know, it sounds like you admitted to everything that you did or didn't do, or whatever, however you want to state it, right? I'm not making any accusations, how it was handled. I'm just looking for a solution that we all feel comfortable with, because, you know, I think like last time somebody you voted president or something, and I kind of felt the same way. And I've been doing this for a while, and I still kind of feel that way. So
point of order on this. Right now we have this on here for discussion only. So there's no options right now to change what was already approved last meeting, unless one of the people that voted in the affirmative decides to reconsider based on the conversations that we're having right now.
So whoever voted yes, you mean?
Yes.
Can change it to no, and then.
Oh, they can ask for it to be brought back on the floor, and then once it's brought back on the floor, anything can happen. But it takes one of those.
Oh, it takes, so that's where we're at right now, is that.
Right now, we're just having discussion.
Because I voted no, so I can't bring it back up. You voted yes, so you can
Correct.
bring it back up, but if nobody does, it stays.
If you don't switch the minds of any of those
Okay,
people.
gotcha.
It stays.
Got it.
So right now, the idea is specifically these two want to have conversation about it, rightfully so. And they're hoping that whatever they say will convince one of those in the minority to ask for reconsideration, which is the next agenda item. If that doesn't happen, the resolution that was submitted by our attorney is the one that's been approved, and that's the one we'll move forward with.
That's the one that's in front of me right now on the iPad.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
Alderman Schrader.
Can I just ask why you didn't put it on the agenda, like when Sharon asked you to, like so long ago, Rick? I just really would like to know why it wasn't brought to the council.
I wanted to bring
because
I'm trying to answer you. I wanted to bring a solution forward for the council of, for one, how we're going to fund it and what happened. I was not getting cooperation on how to get that, and I couldn't do it on my own.
But you were asked to put it on the agenda, and then we could have the discussion. That's how it works. You don't get to decide what is going to be what happens, how the funding works. That's the whole point. It wasn't your right to decide.
I didn't.
You needed to bring it to the council to have a discussion.
Didn't.
Why?
I didn't decide.
You didn't put it on the agenda.
I've said enough. I'm comfortable with what I've said to the public. I'm done having this conversation with you. I've answered it.
But you haven't answered why you blocked it for over a year, and now you're saying it's a political thing. You blocked it. You weren't going to put it on the agenda.
Right.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference because Rick now is saying this is a political thing when we've been trying to get this on the agenda for over a year. For over a year, Rick.
Okay.
How is it political when we were trying to get this on the agenda over a year ago? Answer that.
Because anything we do right now is not going to change the fact that we ultimately got the project that we all talked about, that we're here for less money than we talked about. And it was literally, I'm not undermining this, but it was an accounting error.
No, it was not.
Right. Well, that's your opinion and mine.
You know what?
Wait. Anyone else? Say your piece and then we're done.
So basically, just so the council understands, that authorizing this resolution is authorizing that you feel it's okay for the mayor to just go spend $1 million without bringing it to the council, without following the purchasing policy, without discussing the council on something like this. So going forward, he could do this on anything, and who knows if he has done it on other things. We don't know. This wouldn't even have been on the agenda if it wasn't an open records request. It's very frustrating that he can just sit here and say he didn't want to put it on the agenda because he didn't have the answer, he didn't have the solution figured out in his head. That's not his job to do. It's our job as a council to have these discussions and decide how to fix these errors. It's not the mayor's job. He's the executive. We're the legislative body. That's our job.
And we missed this. Wait till get recognized and I'll, are you done?
Yes.
Alderman Schrader, Alderman Hamel, or Madden, sorry.
I'm seeing a lot of people miss this. It wasn't just the mayor. It was our finance director. It was the council. We all looked at it a million times. It got past us. Mistakes happen. Why do we have to go over this every 5 minutes?
Because we asked for it on the agenda so many times and it was blocked. I had it on the floor. We had a petition signed by 4 aldermen to get it on the agenda.
We're not going to argue back and forth. You guys, Robert's Rules of Order dictate that you guys address the chair. Please do and be recognized. You have not been recognized. She asked a question. I'm checking Alderman Hamel. Thank you.
I hear what Alderman Schrader is saying, but I still don't hear what she wants to do, what a resolution is. So I'm not seeing a solution to it other than what's in front of us here.
Alderman Wolf. No, you don't get to give it. That's not part of Robert's rules, so.
I yield to her one last time here, and then I'd come back to me.
No, it's not part of Robert's rules. You can't do that. You say what you have to say, and she'll get to talk when she's recognized.
I'll pass right now.
All right, Alderman Decker.
So the question is the council okay with simply ratifying a decision of the mayor whereby he bypassed our authority to get authorization? The council's okay with that?
Before Alderman Bryce goes, you guys, a couple things keep on getting thrown out here that are just completely untrue, and this is for the public. I don't care about what these people think at this case. This is for the public. One, this was not put on an agenda because of an open records request. This was, you can ask any one of staff, it was already, there's nothing an open records request can do to get something on an agenda. That open records request happened to come along as we were, as a staff, bringing this forward. That's item number one. It doesn't really matter how it got here. It is here. Admittedly, I should have talked to you guys much sooner on that. We've talked about that. So that part's fairly irrelative. Nothing, not one penny was spent on my authorization. Every penny that was spent was approved by vouchers and resolutions. I do not have the authority to spend one dime without having a matching authorization. And I'm not saying that, because I know what happens. I've been in your chairs. We don't go through every line item in there in vouchers. You can miss it, but that doesn't mean you're ultimately not responsible by statutory language. You keep on throwing out, well, what my responsibilities are. I agree. I admit I screwed up here. I've said that for weeks now. I have not one of you that have authorized this all through the process. I have every one that was authorized here. And every penny that was spent was authorized by you without checking where the source was. So enough. Alderman Wolf.
Just real quick, I think we're heading down a very long road again. I was trying to get to the solution before. I think we've heard just about everything we can hear on both sides on this. If you like it or dislike it, that's how it always goes. I mean, I'm on both sides all the time on everything. So I think what we're trying to accomplish is that a reconsideration, right? That's what I understood last time by asking.
Well, some are trying to accomplish it and some aren't.
That's what I'm saying. So I think we need to come to the point that are people going to change their votes right now or not? And that'll make the difference of all our discussions, because we're gonna go down the same road, which I think we all have a feel for what has been said and done and whatever, and I think the public can zoom in on all that. So I don't know what good is to keep going down the road. we should be at the point now, are we changing the vote or are we keeping the vote the same?
Alderman Brace.
I was going to say kind of what you were saying, like you guys, Decker and Schrader both keep saying the mayor spent the money, the mayor spent the money, the mayor, there are resolutions showing there was an authorization to spend a certain amount of money for this thing. He didn't spend any extra. Everyone except for me, Tom, and Decker, because we weren't here, missed it on going through the agenda items. So literally just to sit and point at your finger to say the mayor did this, the mayor did, he didn't, everyone did. And mistakes happen, and it just, I know.
All right, are we done? Somebody ready to call for the question on this? So we can at least go to the next step and see if we have, because you may have more discussion if someone reconsiders this. Alderman Decker.
I have a question. In the case of the individual who abstained, what is the rule? I mean, can they reconsider their position?
Yes.
I stated my position last week. I don't feel like I should be the arbiter of truth between these two competing timelines. That hasn't changed.
All right. Moving on to the next agenda item. Is there anyone that is willing to reconsider resolution? Where am I on here now? Resolution 077-2025. Going once, twice. Moving on to old business. Further discussion. Nope, sorry. New business. Resolution
Hey,
09.
Rick, just so you make it transparent, so everybody understands that it all stays.
It stays as approved last meeting, which is a resolution that was written by our attorney.
Okay, just want to make that note.
New business, Resolution 091-2025, a resolution establishing procedures for an alderperson to request items to be placed on the Common Council agenda. Need to send a table before we can talk.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, I brought this forward. Essentially, it's a mirror of what I have had practiced for the last year with some refinements to it. I think it's best for the Common Council to have a written procedure on how to get stuff on an agenda. I have put this on here. The gist of it is, if you put it in writing to the mayor, it will be appropriated to the proper committee at that point, as long, with the caveat is it's got to be something that the Common Council has jurisdiction over. We're not going to put things on the agenda that are, chest pounding or anything else. It's got to be something that the Common Council can actually act on. And I'll use an example of a couple months ago, Alderman Schrader asked for asked to have a open records request brought to the council for discussion.
No.
You have no say over that. It was an open records request. The attorney denied it. None of us had anything to do with it. That's not, you as a council cannot override that. So it was that particular thing is it. In this resolution, if something is denied, I have to respond to the council and explain why it was denied. And, if you have an issue with what my explanation was, come and talk to me and tell me why you think it's wrong, and we'll bring it back on. But there's got to be some kind of rules here, and that's what it is. It's anything you guys want that you have jurisdiction on over, put it in writing. It'll be assigned to a committee and brought through. Alderman Decker.
Mayor, the chief objection I have to this is it basically sets the mayor up as the gatekeeper.
No.
And
Yep.
that's how I see it. And there's no alternative to get around that at all. Through a petition, which the right to petition is available to us in the Bill of Rights as citizens, we should be able to at least have something like that available to us as well.
Alderman Schrader.
Is it possible to move this discussion to a committee of the whole?
No,
To have
you're-
it-
You're here, it's on the floor, you can talk just as much now as you can. at
Well,
another meeting.
because there's some stuff that I wanted to bring to the council's attention if they haven't seen it already from the, I believe it was last month's League of Municipalities on agendas, on how agenda setting should happen. And it should be set by the council, not by the mayor.
That's why we have a resolution explaining. that the
You
council
can make a
do that.
motion.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to have a more in-depth discussion about this.
Why can't you do an in-depth discussion now? This has been noticed, we've talked about it, we're here. A cow doesn't change our voices or do anything. In fact, we sit in the same chairs. What is the
Well, then we
difference?
can have a recommendation out of the committee of the whole for how we want to run, how we want the agenda set, rather than you telling us how the agendas are set, and
It's
now
on-
we
it's
vote
the-
on it.
It's on the floor right now, subject to anything you guys do. So it's your resolution at this point. Alderman Wolf.
Okay, if we don't want to move it, then I want to make a motion to amend this. This takes away my ability as a alderman, one of 7 that are elected to be the council. And as Alderman Decker mentioned, it tunnels it into one person. So I don't like the transparency of that. I don't like a lot of the things that are, the way these are written in here for myself personally. I'm a very outspoken person. When I ask for something, I expect it to happen. I don't really go out of my way to make things inconvenient or timely or ridiculous requests. So I don't need to be punished by ordinance. We are trying to fix something that's not broken. What I'd like to do is make this a request to amend this to a simple statement, and it be added to every agenda at the bottom of the agenda that we used to have, which took away my ability for transparency on where it used to say comments and future agenda items, I believe, or something to that effect. We can go back and look at those old memos and repeat that and make that our resolution. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Roll call vote.
Alderperson Wolf,
Yes.
Alderperson Hamel,
Probably should have brought this up during discussion. But comments can drag on about anything.
really?
What do you mean, Deb? Shaking your head.
Wait, just say your piece and.
I don't have a problem at the end of the agenda just asking, are there any future agenda items?
And comments.
I don't think comments is necessary.
Well, it could be comments on the agenda that we just had. I think that's what it was, the intent was for that originally.
Wait, we're in the middle of a vote, so.
Well, I'm just explaining my.
I understand, but we're in the middle of a vote.
Yeah, but
so-
sometimes they can drag on and get into a pissing match, to say the least. And I don't think that is appropriate to get into.
Point of order.
Yes or no?
We should,
No, I know where your point of order is. I'm telling him to ask you, say yes or no.
Okay, I'm going to say no.
Alderman Decker.
yes.
Bryce.
No.
Schrader.
Thank you.
Yes.
Dilge.
No.
Madden.
No.
Fails.
Wow. I think you just took away your rights.
So I don't think there's anything here that takes away your rights. It just takes away the grandstand.
Okay, I'd like to make another motion. I'd like to make a motion to dismiss this ordinance,
It's not an ordinance, it's a resolution.
resolution.
So
I'll second.
you would do that, the way you mean dismiss it, you would just vote it down when it comes to vote. So that's an improper motion.
I can't make that motion, Jeff?
You can just vote it down. You just,
Can I make that motion, Jeff?
no, but you can just vote it down.
Can I make a motion to dismiss this resolution?
There's
I
no
can't make that motion?
There's no such motion. It's up on the floor. If you vote it down, it's gonna be gone. I mean, you know what I mean? It's gone if you vote it down. So you would vote no.
I'm motioning so that we don't vote on it. I want it
So you're
eliminated.
motioning to table it.
To dismiss.
Table it.
Your motion would be to table it then.
Right, not dismiss it.
Well, then what does
Or-
tabling mean? That it
It's
disappears?
done. It just kind of gets put off on the side.
Then my apologies for missed words.
But you can table it, that's fine.
That's fine. That's my motion. Let's table it.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All right, just a minute. Oh, you can talk, go ahead.
Sure. Anyone want to talk?
Okay, so I just have a question. So,
Oh, wait, 1 second.
no?
No, just hold off a second. I made a mistake last week and I don't want to make one again.
On tabling?
Yeah, is there discussion on that?
Oh, there may not be discussion on tabling.
Debatable? No, it's not debatable.
Right, so it's just. vote.
Sorry.
You just vote on it.
Alderman, start with Alderman Wolf.
Roll call?
Yeah,
Alderperson
So a
Wolf.
yes is tabling.
Is tabling, right?
which gets rid of it.
Yes.
Alderperson Hamel?
It doesn't make a difference to me. I'd like to see something in writing so we all have something to follow. I'm going to say no.
Alderperson Decker?
Yes,
Alderperson Bryce?
I think I'm with Hamel. I'd like to have something in writing, so that way if something is not followed procedurally, then we can just finger point more. So, no.
Can
Alderman Schrader?
I ask a question?
Procedurally, yes.
What they're talking about with writing?
A resolution would be in writing. So there's a policy.
No, but are you saying, I'm just,
It's not-
want to be clear in what they're saying. Are they saying they want it in writing when people are requesting things on an agenda? Is that what they're saying?
Saying they want a policy in writing, which this resolution does. That's what they're saying. They prefer to do that versus tabling it and not have it take any action.
Correct.
Okay.
So they're voting
policy in
for,
writing.
but they're voting for this policy?
No, they're voting to
Just to
not
table.
table it, to have more discussion on it.
At a later.
Alderman Wolf wants it to go away and just be done.
Well, I would like to talk about it more.
Then you would vote no.
Oh, right.
No.
Alderperson Dilge?
Yes.
Alderperson Madden?
No.
Okay.
2, 3, there were 3 noes.
No, there's 4 no's.
Hang on,
There's 4 no's. 1,
There's
2, 3, 4.
I'm sorry, then I wrote it down.
Yeah, 4 no's. Doesn't pass. So still
Still
in
on
front
the
of
floor? Still on the floor?
So I'm trying to get something so you guys can have a written procedure to put something on the agenda. I know you'd like something on there. Unfortunately, when we had it on there, it was used for politics, and it really was. And maybe you didn't do it. Some people did. And I'm not going to call people out on here. This policy as written allows you to get almost anything you want that you guys can, it does allow you to get anything you want that you have control over on an agenda. It does it. It's got a procedure. It follows our committee structure. It does exactly what, without the grandstanding. That's it.
Yeah, we have a disagreement, but.
Well, maybe, but that's
fine,
my point.
Which is fine.
So-
Why, now, can I ask you a question rather than dragging this all out for everybody again and trying to narrow
Sure.
this down to make me happy and everybody happy? Did we vote no on the agenda and comments because of comments or because of the agenda at the bottom? If we at the end of a council meeting have new agenda items and we bring it up and say, hey, I want to talk about the car lot down the block, boom, that's it. We're set. We don't have to get into why, who, when, what. I don't get detailed lists on why other things are on an agenda. I don't have to submit things. I don't want to have to do all that. Just put it back. We're fixing something that's not broken, that we kind of suspended for a while. Just bring it back. If you want to take the comment problem off, I'm happy with that. I'll adjust to that part. Is that something we can agree upon without going through 5,000 more discussions and votes?
I'm fine with the.
I'll
agenda.
second that.
So
Okay, I'll make the motion.
What's the motion?
to put future agenda.
Just to put it back on the agenda on the bottom.
Future
new
agenda items,
Yeah,
because
With no discussion.
with no discussion.
just state your
How is that possible?
agenda.
Well, just state what you.
Well, I don't know.
if
I get
you can
agenda
have-
stuff without explanations and sometimes without attachments.
So I guess the question would be,
We've done this forever
So
and there's
the-
been no fighting.
so the question would be then, how is this different besides the fact that, I mean, because
I
when
don't
it
like
gets,
the wording.
Because you still get credit for it. mean,
I don't like the wording.
It would be referred to a committee with your name behind it.
I feel that I'm the council, we're the council meeting, and this is taking some of that away from me. And I felt that way, and I told you that, Rick, when we took the comments off and the future agenda items, we fought about it back then.
I agree. We agreed to disagree on that one.
And you were an alderman, and you probably would have fought the same way.
We didn't have it when I was an alderman.
Yeah, how did you do it then?
What?
How did you do it?
We had to go talk to the mayor.
You had to go talk to him.
Yeah.
You couldn't bring it up at the end of a meeting.
Nope.
Well, that's a shame, because I like transparency, and I think it's very transparent to do it that way.
There's
So if I have a
nothing
motion-
non-transparent about this.
Well, I feel it is. And if we have a second from another alderman, we can discuss now. I think Eileen has her hand up.
Alderman Madden.
What was the
I
second?
would just like to say I've been on council with 5 different mayors, and they have all done it this way,
Which way?
the way it's written out here. I've gone to mayors and asked to have something put on the agenda, and I was told no, because the timing, or it was because the staff needed time to prepare everything on here. It's happens.
Yeah, I don't think we need a resolution for that. I think when she was mayor, it was on the bottom of the, if I remember from the time I was an alderman, it's always been on the bottom.
Alderman Decker.
The November issue of the municipality laid out a clear path for how things need to be put on an agenda and for agenda control. This resolution goes completely against it. I can't understand why would we support it?
Okay, so I got to address your comment on there. Yes, the municipality, which is the league's newsletter, does address agenda control and all that, but it also, and very clearly from them and their attorneys, state that if you have an internal policy or a resolution or ordinance, it supersedes anything they said there. And that's what this is trying to do.
And that's why I said, let's make this a resolution. I have a second. The resolution is to put it at the bottom of the agenda, future items, state your case and move on. At least it's out there and we know that it was asked for, and that's the end of it. That's all I want. So is there any other comments, or I'm going to call for a vote?
Yeah, I think we should just call for, I think that's how it was.
Okay, you weren't recognized. Alderman Dilge.
Yeah, the reason I voted the way I did, before my time on council, I attended meetings. My experience with when things were brought up during that future business section is just kind of devolved into petty arguing, name calling, muted microphones, all that stuff. I feel like we need to get back to cooperating between the mayor and the council. I thought this was at least a form of cooperation. We're bringing items to the mayor. He's filtering it to the appropriate committee if applicable. And it does give us a bit of oversight as well, where if he denies an agenda item, he has to tell us all why. And we can go about other avenues to possibly get around that denial, but that was why I voted the way I did. I'm trying to get us to work together, because most of the time we're pretty broken here.
Alderman Schrader.
I would like to work together too. However, whenever I asked for things on the agenda, I was denied, constantly denied. So I believe this is a problem for me, because I would like to be able to ask for it publicly, because at least there's proof publicly that I'm asking for things. Otherwise, the mayor just says no, and he can say no to whatever he wants. He can be like the grand poobah, just saying no to whatever he doesn't want on an agenda.
So there is nothing that Alderman Schrader or Alderman Decker ultimately asked for that didn't get on an agenda. There is nothing. This won't change. I want this on the next agenda. I want it on this one. This doesn't change that. Alderman Wolf's suggestion won't change that. There's other considerations that I am much deeper on besides being demanded when something gets put on an agenda. Alderman Bryce.
I was gonna say, so, I mean, I agree with Tom, right? Like, if he, and I mean, it even says in here, if the mayor would deny your request for putting something on, he would have to tell you why, tell all of us why. And it also kind of gives it a good timeline, because I do think, and I'm guilty of this just in my own personal life sometimes too. I'm more of an instant gratification person. So if I ask for something, like ask my husband, I'll ask him for something, and I literally mean I want it now, not later. But for whatever reason, maybe it can't be delivered right now. which would be the sending it to committee or being able to do research and find out all the numbers and, you know, all the things of that nature, to have it appropriately there before I just want this on the next meeting. So I agree, like, this is kind of just a nice, it's a very formal way of doing it. You give your written request, it'll get sent out. If it gets denied, there has to be an explanation as to why.
Can we, I mean, and I'll recognize you guys in a second. It's a start. We need to fix, we're broken. I mean, there's no question about that. Alderman Schrader, Alderman Decker don't trust me. I don't trust them. I've said that publicly. They've said it. You know, we don't trust each other. This is a way of at least having something in writing that we can hold each other accountable to. It's a plan. It may not be perfect. It may not be, trust me, it's not the way I want it 100%. It's not the way Alderman Wolf and I can tell a couple other aldermen don't want it. But it's something, because right now we have nothing. Alderman Bob, go ahead.
Tom makes a great point in regards to this. It needs to be in writing. The mayor has to tell us if he isn't going to put something on the agenda and why, and a logical reason behind that. I guess my comment, and I don't know if I missed it in here, but if the mayor refuses to put something on the agenda and there's enough aldermen or somebody comes back and say, yes, I think this needs to be discussed, is that a recourse?
Sure. But I don't know how you do that without breaking an open records law.
Exactly. Or quorum.
So I'm going to follow this. There's very clear rules on here. The only time I can say no is if you guys have no authority over it. And then I got to explain why you have no authority over it. Alderman Wolf.
You can follow this, but it's not a resolution. I'm just trying to simplify this, make it easy, go back to what we used to do, just bring it, I don't see the arguing and fighting, you just bring it up and you move on. We don't need all this extra written government crap in here that takes power away from an alderman. I think that if you read this, I can go through it and rip it apart. I'm not going to do that. I think we have a motion on the floor, and we should vote on that right now. So I'm doing a call to order.
I think it's table, or it's put the thing on the bottom.
That's it. Just future agenda items on the bottom. And if you want to make that the resolution 091202.
So your motion, just for simplicity, and tell me if I'm right, is to scrap everything on here and simply have future agenda items added to the agenda.
Right, and
which is what we had before, and unfortunately did not work.
It worked.
So, all right, that's.
Well, I did a call to order, Deb.
Okay. So is that your, did I paraphrase what you want?
And
you want to scrap what's on here and just add that? So I just want, so everyone's clear in what the motion is.
I mean, if we want to add, and must be followed up by writing to the mayor, that's fine. You want to put that on the bottom, that's fine. Then you have it in writing to you.
Then you gotta start this over. That's too hard, what he's saying.
Well, what he's saying is actually fairly simple. You scrap everything in here and it's
But then you add about having it in writing?
We just add, well, no, he didn't. That's not where his motion is. His motion is simply to add future agenda items to the future agendas. That's his motion. It's very simple. So Alderman Schrader.
Yeah, and I would second that. And that's the way,
It's on the
way it
floor.
used to be.
I did a call to order, though. We need to vote on this.
Well, you don't need to vote on a poll order. That's call for the question, which got us some questions, something
What's
last
that?
time. Are we just done with discussion on this? Can we at least vote on the motion here? All right. Don't recommend it, but start roll call vote. Alderman, we're voting on his amendment to scrap this and just add future agenda items to council agendas, which I wish would work, but it doesn't.
Before we vote, can I add something?
Sure.
I think there was another provision that was removed from the agendas, and that was miscellaneous business.
That's
not on this call.
There's
That's not on
nothing
this
legal
vote right
about
now.
that. So
Unless you want to make
it as
it,
a separate item, but there's nothing legal about that.
Okay.
you could amend the amendment, just so you understand what's going on. I always throw the options out there, good or bad or ugly. I throw them out there. It's okay.
Got a motion in a second, right?
Roll call vote.
Alderperson Wolf,
Yes.
Alderperson Hamel,
That makes a very strong point. No.
Alderperson Decker,
Yes.
Alderperson Bryce,
No.
You seconded.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
I missed it. I didn't
Oh, I
miss
thought you did. Okay, sorry. I take that back.
Doesn't matter. Go on.
Alderperson Schrader,
Yes.
Alderperson Dilge,
No.
Alderperson Madden.
No.
All right, we're going to go about this all night. Can we at least, my recommendation is just pass this. If you want to bring it up for, you know what? We pass this, you can bring it up as another agenda item in the future and we can discuss it later. At least we have something in writing. Right now, we have nothing. If you don't pass this.
I'm not happy with the writing.
All right.
I would rather bring
call
it back
vote.
for discussion.
Roll call vote.
On this one?
The resolution as presented.
Alderperson Wolf,
No.
Alderperson Hamel,
Yes.
Alderperson Decker,
No.
Alderperson Bryce,
Yes.
Alderperson Schrader,
No.
Alderperson Dilge,
Yes.
and Alderperson Madden.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
You gave up your rights.
Yeah, we used to.
Number 92.
Resolution 092-2025, approval of a resolution to cancel the Common Council meeting scheduled for December 23rd, 2025.
Eileen.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Bryce. Discussion? It's the night before Christmas. You guys want,
Went all through the house.
yeah. You guys want to have a meeting that night or not? No? All right, then name for the
Do we,
discussion.
I would.
do we have anything to discuss? Is there anything pressing that we
Nope.
need to?
All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
Two opposed.
2, okay. 5-2.
Okay.
In front of you, the for review of committee reports, in front of you, the Finance Committee meeting for November 11th, 2025. Updates, any updates from the liaisons from any of your meetings? None? Can you read the motion for closed session?
You want me to read it, right? Okay. Following conclusion of consideration of the above portion of its regularly scheduled agenda, the Common Council will meet to vote on a motion to convene in closed session for discussion, action relative to discuss the assessor services for the city of Muskego and to take such further action as may be appropriate with respect to such matters. A closed session for the above purpose is authorized pursuant to the provisions of 1 Wis Stat 19.85 sub 1 sub F, considering financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personnel problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, except where paragraph B applies, which, if discussed in public, would be likely to have substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data, or involved in such problems or investigations, and 2, Wis Stat 19.85 sub 1 sub G, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice considering strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Upon conclusion of the closed session, the Common Council will reconvene in open session to consider its public agenda, including motions to recommend approval or rejection of the above listed deliberations or any of the public agenda items that have not been acted upon. Motion.
Someone move?
Move to go into closed session.
Second.
All those in favor? Roll call vote, I'm sorry.
Alderperson Wolf.
Yes.
Hamel.
Yes.
Decker. Yes. Bryce.
Yes.
Schrader.
Yes.
Dilge.
Yes.
Madden.
Yes.
We are in closed session. We will be coming out to act on Resolution 088-2025 for the proposal for appraisal services, and then we will be adjourning. All you that are here, have a Merry Christmas.
We're doing cow.
Oh, yeah, we have a cow after that too, so. We're back into open session. Resolution 088-2025, acceptance of proposal for appraisal services.
Do you need a,
I need a motion to accept Tyler Tech for 1-year contract
so move,
with,
for 1 year?
can I get a second?
Tom seconded,
All right.
or Eileen,
All right.
one of them, both
Any
of
further
them.
discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned at 8:43.